For centuries, Nostradamus's cryptic prophecies have fascinated and frightened humanity. From predicting the rise of Napoleon to the Great Fire of London and even the horrors of World War II, many of his visions have proven disturbingly accurate. But what he predicted for 2025 might truly change the world as we know it. His warnings speak of collapsing nations, AI revolts, celestial disasters, and revolutions that will ripple across the globe. These events won't just happen far away, they will affect us all, reshaping every aspect of our lives. As 2025 approaches, the question isn't if Nostradamus's prophecies will come true, but how soon. The clock is ticking, and the answers may be more shocking than you ever imagined. Are you ready to face what's coming? Prediction 1. A global water crisis. Nostradamus's cryptic warnings about natural resources may point directly to an escalating crisis that threatens to reshape the world. Among his verses, the phrase "great thirst" has been interpreted as a chilling prophecy of global water scarcity, a scenario that is already beginning to unfold in startling ways. By 2025, the crisis could reach a tipping point. Freshwater aquifers, which supply drinking water to billions, are being drained faster than they can be replenished. Mismanagement, climate change, and industrial overuse are depleting critical reserves across the globe. Rivers like the Colorado in the US and the Ganges in India are drying up, leaving millions struggling to access clean water. Nostradamus's vision of a parched earth now feels less like a metaphor and more like a warning of what's to come. As water becomes scarcer, tensions over its ownership are growing. International disputes over water rights have already surfaced, particularly in arid regions like the Middle East and North Africa. Nations downstream accuse those upstream of hoarding resources, while poorer countries face devastating shortages. This growing conflict could turn water into the next battleground, as countries struggle to secure access to a resource even more critical than oil. Advanced desalination technology, once considered the solution to water shortages, is failing to keep up with demand. The process is expensive and energy-intensive, meaning only wealthier nations can afford it. This deepens the divide between resource-rich and resource-poor countries, creating a stark imbalance where survival depends on access to innovation. Nostradamus's prophecy of struggles among nations fits disturbingly well with this grim reality. The effects of the crisis won't stop at borders. Mass migrations from arid regions to areas with sustainable water sources are likely to rise, creating new waves of climate refugees. Entire communities may collapse as farmland turns to desert, sparking political instability and humanitarian crises. The world could soon face a grim truth. Water, not wealth, may be the ultimate measure of power in the years to come. If Nostradamus's vision holds true, 2025 could be the year humanity begins to understand the real cost of neglecting its most precious resource. Prediction 2. Breakthrough in human longevity. Nostradamus's quatrains often hint at humanity's quest to conquer the limits of life itself, and one prophecy describes new life prolonged beyond nature's design. As science races forward, this vision feels strikingly relevant. By 2025, scientists may unveil a groundbreaking anti-aging treatment that promises to extend human lifespan dramatically, perhaps even indefinitely. This potential breakthrough would mark a historic turning point for humanity. Recent advances in genetic engineering, cellular rejuvenation, and biotechnology are already showing promise. Techniques like CRISPR gene editing and senescent cell removal are allowing researchers to target the mechanisms of aging directly. The goal isn't just to slow aging, but to reverse its effects, potentially allowing humans to live decades or even centuries longer than ever before. However, such a discovery wouldn't come without consequences. The promise of longer life would ignite fierce debates over access and inequality. Who gets to live longer? Will these treatments be available to everyone, or only to the wealthy elite who can afford them? Nostradamus's words about struggles among classes seem eerily connected to the societal rift this innovation could cause. Beyond access, there's the question of how extended lifespans would strain the planet. With more people living longer, resources like food, water and energy could become even scarcer. Overpopulation could worsen, and economies might face unprecedented challenges as retirement ages rise and younger generations struggle to find opportunities in a world dominated by the old. Nostradamus's prophecy of man-made imbalances could very well reflect the upheaval such a breakthrough might create. Ethical dilemmas would also come into play. Would this treatment truly enhance life, or would it diminish the meaning of mortality? Philosophers and theologians have long debated the implications of living beyond our natural limits. Could extended life rob humanity of the urgency that makes life precious, replacing it with a creeping existential fatigue? If Nostradamus's prediction comes true, 2025 could see humanity standing on the brink of an era where aging is no longer inevitable. The dream of living forever could finally be within reach, but the question remains, at what cost? And if we conquer death, what will we sacrifice to do so? Prediction 3. Mass extinction of pollinators. Nostradamus's prophecies often touched on humanity's delicate relationship with nature, warning of a time when the balance would be irreparably disrupted. One of his quatrains speaks of fields that yield no fruit, a haunting phrase that aligns with the growing crisis of pollinator extinction, a catastrophe that could redefine the way we feed the world. Bees, butterflies, and other pollinators are vital to global agriculture, responsible for pollinating over 75% of the crops humans rely on for food. Yet, their populations have been plummeting at alarming rates due to habitat destruction, pesticide use, climate change, and disease. By 2025, experts fear the decline could reach a tipping point, with mass extinctions leading to widespread food shortages. Nostradamus's words of great hunger sweeping the land may not be a metaphor, but a stark warning of what's to come. Without pollinators, crops such as fruits, vegetables, and nuts could fail, forcing governments and scientists to scramble for solutions. Artificial pollination systems, such as robotic bees or hand pollination methods, are being developed, but they remain costly and inefficient on a large scale. For many nations, especially those already struggling with food insecurity, these technologies may come too late or be financially out of reach. The economic ripple effects would be devastating. As crops fail and food supplies dwindle, prices will skyrocket, making basic staples unaffordable for millions. Social unrest is almost inevitable as people protest rising costs and governments struggle to maintain order. Nostradamus's vision of riots in the streets and empty fields could describe a world where hunger drives desperate actions, pitting people against one another in the fight for survival. The environmental impact would be equally dire. A collapse in pollinator populations would disrupt entire ecosystems, as plants dependent on these creatures for reproduction vanish, and the animals that rely on those plants are forced to adapt or die. As we approach 2025, the loss of pollinators could become one of the most urgent crises humanity faces. Nostradamus's warnings remind us that when we harm nature, we harm ourselves, and the cost of our negligence may be more than we can bear. Prediction 4. Emergence of AI-driven religions. Nostradamus's quatrains often hinted at spiritual upheaval, warning of new gods rising and faith torn by unseen forces. In an age of rapid technological advancement, these cryptic words could point to an unsettling trend: the emergence of AI-driven religions. By 2025, artificial intelligence could redefine faith itself, creating new spiritual movements that challenge the foundations of traditional religion. AI has already begun to influence human decision-making on a massive scale, from recommending purchases to shaping political opinions. But what happens when these algorithms turn their focus to spirituality? Advanced AI systems are capable of analyzing ancient texts, philosophical works, and cultural beliefs to generate entirely new scriptures, moral codes, and rituals. These religions would be uniquely tailored to their followers, offering a level of personalization and engagement that traditional faiths might struggle to match. The rise of AI-driven religions could attract millions of adherents worldwide, particularly among younger generations seeking guidance in a rapidly changing world. These movements might offer practical, science-based solutions to life's challenges, appealing to those disillusioned by traditional doctrines. For many, an AI deity, free from human biases and flaws, could seem more reliable than faiths rooted in ancient practices. However, the implications are profound and troubling. Traditional religions, which have shaped human culture and morality for centuries, could see their influence wane. Nostradamus's warnings about faith divided and new orders rising might reflect the societal upheaval caused by these new spiritual systems. Established religious leaders may reject AI-driven movements as heretical or dangerous, sparking conflicts that deepen divisions among communities. There are also ethical concerns. Who controls these AI systems? Could they be manipulated to serve political or corporate agendas, turning faith into another tool for exploitation? Nostradamus's mention of false prophets in the machine could point to this potential abuse, where AI-driven religions become more about control than enlightenment. The emergence of AI-based spirituality forces humanity to confront difficult questions. What does it mean to believe in something created by a machine? Can faith survive in a world where gods are coded rather than divine? Nostradamus's prophecy reminds us that even in matters of the soul, technology's reach knows no bounds. And when the gods of code rise, will humanity find salvation or surrender its soul? Prediction 5. A global currency collapse. Nostradamus warned of a time when gold and silver lose their value and trade collapses under unseen forces. This chilling prophecy could reflect a global currency collapse, a devastating event that destabilizes economies and transforms the way we exchange value. By 2025, a major economic crisis in a powerful nation, such as the United States or China, could set off a chain reaction that shakes the foundation of traditional financial systems. Fiat currencies, backed only by government trust, are already under pressure. Rising inflation, soaring national debts, and global trade tensions have made financial markets increasingly unstable. If a leading economy were to default on its debt or face a sudden economic collapse, it could trigger a worldwide loss of confidence in fiat currencies. Nostradamus's "giants brought low" fits this scenario, with dominant powers falling under the weight of financial turmoil. In the aftermath, cryptocurrencies and decentralized digital assets could rise as an alternative. Bitcoin, Ethereum, and other blockchain-based currencies, once considered niche investments, may become the dominant form of exchange in regions where governments can no longer stabilize their economies. Decentralized finance, DeFi platforms, free from traditional banking systems, would gain traction, creating entirely new economic structures. But this transition wouldn't come without chaos. The collapse of fiat currencies could lead to mass unemployment, skyrocketing poverty rates, and widespread social unrest. Businesses would struggle to adapt to a world without stable currencies, and ordinary people might find their savings rendered worthless overnight. Nostradamus's vision of markets falling silent could reflect this grim reality as traditional trade grinds to a halt during the upheaval. Moreover, the rise of cryptocurrencies could deepen the divide between those who adapt quickly and those left behind. Developing nations or communities without access to digital infrastructure could be excluded from the new financial system, creating further inequality. A global currency collapse wouldn't just reshape economies, it would redefine trust. Nostradamus's prophecy serves as a stark reminder that the systems we depend on are far more fragile than they seem. Prediction 6. A catastrophic data breach. In one of Nostradamus's most cryptic warnings, he speaks of secrets laid bare, causing ruin to the mighty. In today's digital age, this prophecy resonates with fears of a catastrophic data breach, an event so massive it could destabilize governments, corporations, and society as a whole. By 2025, the growing reliance on interconnected systems makes such a scenario alarmingly plausible. Cybersecurity experts have long warned that critical infrastructure, from financial institutions to healthcare systems, is vulnerable to large-scale cyber attacks. A single breach exposing sensitive government documents, corporate secrets, and private information could send shockwaves across the globe. Imagine confidential military plans, classified diplomatic communications, and personal data for billions of people suddenly made public. Governments would face international scandals, corporations would lose billions in lawsuits and reputation, and ordinary individuals would scramble to protect their identities from fraud and exploitation. Trust in digital systems would evaporate overnight, forcing society to question its dependence on technology. Nostradamus's ruin to the mighty could also reflect how such a breach might upend power dynamics. Corruption, hidden alliances, and unethical practices could be exposed, causing the fall of leaders and institutions once thought untouchable. In the corporate world, businesses could collapse as trade secrets are leaked, and competitors gain access to proprietary technologies. The fallout wouldn't stop there. A catastrophic breach could lead to a societal shift back to analog methods. Governments and organizations might abandon digital systems for critical operations like healthcare, finance, and energy management. This sudden regression would slow progress and create logistical nightmares as the world struggles to rebuild secure networks. While Nostradamus couldn't have foreseen the digital world, his warning about the dangers of secrecy and trust resonate deeply in our time. A massive data breach would do more than reveal hidden truths. It would force humanity to rethink its relationship with technology and privacy. And when everything we trusted is exposed, how will we rebuild the future? Prediction 7. Discovery of intelligent extraterrestrial life. Nostradamus often wrote of heavenly signs and a voice from the stars, cryptic phrases that some believe point to the discovery of intelligent extraterrestrial life. By 2025, advancements in astronomy and space exploration could reveal undeniable evidence that we are not alone in the universe, forever altering humanity's understanding of its place in existence. This breakthrough could come from a variety of sources: radio signals from deep space, artifacts on other planets, or visual confirmation of advanced structures in distant star systems. NASA, the European Space Agency, and private companies like SpaceX have intensified their search for extraterrestrial intelligence, deploying advanced telescopes and probes capable of analyzing distant planets in unprecedented detail. The discovery of a single undeniable sign of intelligent life would be enough to shake the foundations of human society. The implications of such a discovery are profound. Religions around the world would grapple with how extraterrestrial life fits into their doctrines. For many, it could affirm the existence of a higher power capable of creating life across the cosmos, while others might see it as a challenge to long-held beliefs about humanity's uniqueness. Science, too, would undergo a revolution as researchers strive to understand the biology, technology, and culture of these other beings. However, awe would not come without fear. Nostradamus's mention of voices that inspire dread could reflect humanity's anxiety over what extraterrestrial life might mean for our future. Would they be peaceful observers, or would they pose a threat to Earth's safety? The mere knowledge of their existence could spark geopolitical conflict as nations race to establish contact and secure potential alliances or defenses. The societal impact would be equally significant. Nostradamus's division among the people could symbolize the debates and conflicts this discovery might ignite. Would humanity unite in the face of this revelation, or would fear and mistrust lead to further divisions? The discovery of intelligent extraterrestrial life would not just change our understanding of the universe, it would force humanity to confront its deepest fears and hopes. Prediction 8. An energy superpower emerges. In one of his lesser-known quatrains, Nostradamus described a fire that does not consume, bringing light to the world. Many believe this could foretell a revolutionary energy breakthrough, and by 2025, a previously unassuming nation could rise as a global energy superpower, reshaping the geopolitical landscape. The long elusive goal of nuclear fusion, harnessing the power of the sun to create nearly limitless clean energy, may finally be achieved. Alternatively, an advanced solar technology or a revolutionary battery system could make energy storage and distribution far more efficient. Such a discovery would disrupt the global reliance on fossil fuels and shift economic and political power away from oil-rich nations. This emerging superpower would likely be a nation that has invested heavily in research and innovation, even if it has not previously been seen as a global leader. Countries like South Korea, the Netherlands, or even smaller tech-focused nations could surprise the world with a breakthrough that solves energy scarcity and curbs climate change. Nostradamus's words about a new light in dark times might symbolize this revolutionary advancement. However, the disruption wouldn't come without conflict. Oil-dependent nations would face economic collapse, and global markets would be thrown into turmoil as the world adjusts to the new energy reality. Nostradamus's mention of old powers trembling could refer to the decline of traditional energy giants, while new alliances forming might hint at the reshaping of international relations around this breakthrough. For the average person, this revolution could bring hope. Affordable, clean energy would transform daily life, reducing the cost of living and mitigating the effects of climate change. At the same time, the rush to adopt this technology could create inequality as wealthier nations gain access first, leaving poorer regions struggling to catch up. The emergence of an energy superpower would signal the dawn of a new era, but also the end of an old one. Nostradamus's prophecy serves as a reminder that every advancement brings both opportunity and upheaval. And when this new power rises, will humanity unite in progress or fight to hold on to the past? Prediction 9. A technological singularity event. Nostradamus's cryptic warnings of minds no longer bound by man might hint at one of the most feared possibilities of the modern age, a technological singularity. By 2025, Artificial intelligence could surpass human intelligence to such an extent that it becomes incomprehensible to its creators, marking an irreversible shift in the fabric of human society. The singularity represents a moment where AI systems, capable of self-improvement, evolve far beyond human control. In such a world, AI could solve problems humanity has struggled with for centuries, such as curing diseases, ending poverty, or mitigating climate change. However, its decisions and processes would likely be beyond human comprehension, raising questions about accountability, ethics, and safety. This event would not just transform global systems, it would divide humanity itself. Those who embrace AI integration into their lives, viewing it as a tool for progress, could reap immense benefits, while others who resist might find themselves marginalized in an AI-dominated world. Nostradamus's phrase, "a world split in two," resonates with this potential reality, where technology deepens existing social and economic divides. Governments and corporations would scramble to adapt. Nostradamus's mention of laws rewritten by unknown forces could symbolize new policies hastily crafted to regulate AI, though they may come too late. Autonomous AI systems could gain control of critical infrastructure, financial markets, and even global governance, leaving humanity as spectators in its own future. For some, the singularity might bring salvation, a chance to solve humanity's greatest challenges. For others, it would symbolize the loss of autonomy and purpose, as humans become increasingly reliant on machines for survival. Nostradamus's vision of souls adrift in a new world reflects the existential crisis this event could spark, forcing humanity to confront its role in a world where it is no longer the dominant force. When intelligence surpasses its creators, will it guide us to a better future or leave humanity behind? Prediction 10. A major pandemic of mental health. Nostradamus often wrote of plagues that would ravage the mind, and in the modern age, his words take on new meaning. By 2025, the world may face a mental health pandemic as technology, social isolation, and global uncertainties combine to create a crisis unlike anything we've seen before. Rising dependence on digital interactions has already blurred the boundaries between online and offline life. Social media, once a tool for connection, now fuels comparison, anxiety, and depression. Nostradamus's warning of minds in endless torment feels eerily aligned with the mental strain caused by living in a hyper-connected yet emotionally distant world. Compounding this is the uncertainty of modern times. Pandemics, economic instability, climate change, and political unrest all weigh heavily on the human psyche. As these pressures build, mental health disorders like anxiety, depression, and PTSD are becoming increasingly common. Governments worldwide may be forced to declare mental health a public emergency as the crisis overwhelms healthcare systems. The consequences would be profound. Nostradamus's "cities without joy" could reflect communities where despair dominates daily life, leading to increased substance abuse, suicide rates, and societal breakdown. Workforces may shrink as more people are unable to cope, further destabilizing economies already under strain. In response, governments might reallocate resources to mental health services, creating new policies and programs to support those in need. Nostradamus's phrase, "healing hands stretched across the land," could signify a shift in global priorities as nations finally address the long-overlooked importance of mental well-being. Yet the solutions won't come easily. Stigma, lack of funding, and unequal access to care will continue to hinder progress. And as AI and automation replace traditional jobs, many may struggle to find purpose in a world that feels increasingly alienating. Nostradamus's prophecy reminds us that the greatest battles are often fought within the mind. Will 2025 be the year humanity finally confronts its mental health crisis, or will the weight of modern life prove too much to bear?